So, what if you could actually have a conversation with your notes, with your research? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty amazing tool from Google Labs called Notebook LM. And honestly, it promises to change how we learn, how we do research, and even how we create.
We have all been there, right? You're just drowning in a sea of research papers, you've got endless articles open, way too many browser tabs. You know the feeling. You're trying to connect all the dots, but it just feels impossible. Well, that exact feeling of information overload, that's the problem Notebook LM was built to solve.
So, I want you to imagine something. Instead of an AI that knows literally everything on the entire internet, what if you had one that was an expert only on your stuff? Your world, your lecture notes, your project files, the articles you saved, a totally private assistant that works exclusively with the sources you give it. That's the big idea behind Notebook LM.
And that distinction, right there, is the first and most crucial thing to understand about this tool. It is fundamentally different from the AI chatbots you're probably used to playing with.
Think about it. A normal AI chatbot, it's trained on the whole messy, chaotic internet. So sometimes it can, hallucinate. It just makes stuff up. Plus, your conversations are often used to train it further. Notebook LM just flips that whole concept on its head. It's grounded only in the documents you upload. So when you ask it a question, it doesn't just give you an answer, it gives you a citation, pointing to the exact sentence in your material. And this is huge. Your information stays private. It is not used to train the model. Period.
Okay, so how do you actually build this personal AI expert? You're probably thinking it's complicated, but it's surprisingly straightforward.
It's really just a simple three-step process. First, you create a notebook, which is basically a new workspace for your project. Second, you start feeding it your sources, all your documents and links. And third, you just start talking to it. You ask it questions and start interacting with your own information in a way that just wasn't possible before.
And the kinds of sources you can use? It's incredibly versatile. We're talking all the usual suspects: PDFs, Google Docs, Google Slides, links to web articles. But get this. You can even upload YouTube videos, as long as they have a transcript. And of course, you can use simple text files or just copy and paste text directly into it. Now, let's talk about scale for a second, because this is wild. How much can a single notebook handle? 25 million words. Let that sink in. That's across 300 different sources. You could upload entire libraries of books, massive research archives, or every single note you've ever taken on a subject. This thing is built for the deep dive.
So what happens after you've uploaded all your sources? Well, this is where Notebook LM starts to really shine, because it goes way beyond a simple question and answer session. It actively helps you synthesize, organize, and really understand your information.
Once your stuff is loaded, Notebook LM can automatically generate whole new documents from them. With a single click, it can turn all your messy notes and articles into a detailed study guide, a professional briefing document, an FAQ, a chronological timeline, or even a mind map to help you visualize how all the ideas connect. It's amazing.
And the impact this has on learners is just huge. I mean, listen to this Reddit user who is studying for an insurance certification. They said it's cutting their prep time in half because it automates all the tedious work, making outlines, creating summaries that they used to spend hours and hours doing by hand. That's a real game changer.
Okay, so up to this point, we've got a really useful research assistant. But now we're going to move into territory that feels a little bit like magic. It all happens in a feature they call the AI Studio.
Seriously, let me just show you what I mean, because this is where things get really, really cool.
This comment from a Reddit user just captures that wow moment perfectly. They fed it a PDF of their LinkedIn profile, and Notebook LM generated a podcast-style conversation between two hosts, all about their career. And that's just one of the amazing things the AI Studio can do.
The Studio has two incredible generative features. The first is that audio overview. It creates this surprisingly natural-sounding podcast between two AI hosts who just discuss your source material. And what's crazy is you can actually interrupt their conversation in real time to ask your own questions. And even newer is the video overview, which takes it another step further. It generates a full presentation-style video, complete with AI narration and graphics, all based on your content.
Now, as incredible as these features are, it is so important to remember this is still AI. And this user makes a fantastic point. Even though the tool is grounded in your sources, these more creative outputs can still have errors. They found some inaccuracies at a podcast it made from historical documents. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Always, always review and fact-check the output. It's a partner, not an infallible oracle.
Okay, so beyond all the default features, there's this really powerful kind of pro-level technique for using NotebookLM not just to research, but to be a creative partner that actively helps you improve your own work.
You can create what's called a recursive improvement loop to make your own work better. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. Step 1, upload your own stuff, say a bunch of your video scripts. Step 2, ask the AI to critique it. Tell it, critique my teaching style based on these transcripts. Step 3, you save that AI feedback as a note. Now, step 4 is the magic trick. You convert that note into a new source. So now the AI's own critique is part of its knowledge base. Finally, step 5, you ask it for an improved version, telling it, okay, now rewrite my script, but incorporate all that feedback you just gave me. You have essentially taught the AI how to coach you to be better. It's brilliant.
So, when you put all of this together, what does it really mean for the future of learning and creating? Let's just break down the key takeaways one last time.
Here are the big things to remember about NotebookLM. First, it's a private, personal research assistant. It's grounded. It only works with your info and tells you where it got its answers. It's a powerful synthesizer that can turn dense material into useful stuff like study guides. It can generate some incredibly engaging audio and video summaries to help you learn in new ways. And finally, it can actually be a tool, a creative partner, to help you critique and improve your own work.
We've seen what NotebookLM can do right now, but it leaves us with this really fascinating question for the future. We're moving toward a world where our notes, our ideas, our research, they can be transformed into active conversational partners. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. What happens when your knowledge finally has a voice of its own?